the man, the myth, the legend, Darrell Starkweather. He will tell us what makes a good side hustle a good side hustle. Like and subscribe for more. And there's like types of side hustle, and I will, man, be amazing for you to chime on it. And I'm gonna maybe set up the stage here a little bit. Some side hustle. I have a buddy. Okay, he buys and sells sofas on Facebook Marketplace. Mm-hmm. Which that means you can't put a sofa in a sedan. Come on,
right?
You can no sedan on that one. Yeah. Even like a regular, car. Either it's I don't think an SUV would be good for a sofa. It has to be a legit truck.
Hanging out the back.
Yeah, I don't know if you can shove a whole sofa in an SUV, depending on a midsize or not. And not only that, it's just labor intensive. Right. It's truly labor intensive. It's there. So there's like problems we're trying to solve here. Now the scalability is just him. I think. To me, another superior aspect for a good side hustle would be teamwork, having a camaraderie, a community. I would love for you to talk to us about that.
Yeah, listen, I think there are a lot of side benefits to having a side hustle. Uh-huh. And a lot of people focus on the income potential, which is fantastic. I think it's why we all get into them, to solve that part of the problem. But I think one of the side benefits is the community that it brings, not only for increasing your social network, your social circle of people you work with and you team with, but also it's the teamwork, it's the structure that it brings for support. In times of difficulty, or you have questions, if you're like your friend who's just by himself, and there's an issue, who do you go to? Who do you seek for advice? Who do you seek to help with a problem, or just help you lift a couch?
Yeah.
And so
it can't be a one-man job,
right? There's a few that can do that, but not many of us can. Support and community, I think, is key to a side hustle. It not only, I think, helps in the business aspect of your side hustle, but in the personal development of it.
Look at that. And then the scalability, like now there's leverage of effort involved. And to me, a side hustle, if it's just you and there's no scalability, it's still a good side hustle, but it's not a great side hustle.
Right.
Now, the scalability of a side hustle, I would, if you can chime in on that, how can someone start one and make it not just good, not just big, but bigger?
Right.
Yeah. Which is,
yeah, well, I think leverage is the key word.
Leverage is
the key word. Is, you're right. Most side hustles, you put forth the effort, you get the reward for it. But the reward ends when the effort ends. Yeah. And so I think what you're looking for is this leverage where, how can I work with others? How can I bring other people into my side hustle that creates some duplication?
Yeah,
that allows me to not only get rewards from my personal effort, but also long-term rewards through the efforts of other people that I bring into my business, that I help grow, and then I share it with, and create some, maybe some income or something that lasts past the initial reward.
To me, that's one of the best joys, like in life, where it's true happiness when you get a chance to help somebody.
Yeah.
Help them see their lives change, help them grow, and so forth. I'm sure for all these, years of experience, you come in here with a lot of richness, wisdom, experience. I'm sure there's been a few stories like you've personally encountered, Darrell, that is just inspiring. I mean, it's just one of those. It's almost like a movie where it's so good. And it's not a movie. It's just this real life. Yeah. Just share with me one for now. One.
Yeah, Darrell. I won't mention names or people, but, it's the stories is what makes this job, exciting and rewarding. Like any other job full-time, it's got its ups and downs. It's got its requirements. But what most jobs don't provide you is a view into other people's lives and what they're doing, and maybe have a small part in that. And so, one that's personal to me actually is because it's kind of related to my family, is a cousin of mine got into side hustle. And it was based on a personal need to, they had taken in someone, a young child, to help support. and there was just this need of additional support.
Yeah.
And through a little bit of effort and bringing other people into the side hustle, it changed the life. It changed the recurring income that they were able to have to help support. You watched other people flourish that did even more in this opportunity than he did. And so it's kind of amazing when you look back and say they made a simple decision of, I need something extra.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give this side hustle a try. And then years down the road, you see that their life's completely different.
Look at that.
I've seen single moms,
Yeah.
who needed the extra income.
Yeah.
I've seen people who, especially what I think is special about side hustles is it allows the true talent and ability of an individual to shine.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us get into our jobs because of happenstance. I think very few people go into the career that they went to college for. And so you end up at a job somewhere and you build and you try to grow, but you're limited in your potential to what is allowed for you there, whatever opportunities come and when they come.
Yeah.
And you can't control a lot of that except hopefully be there when it comes. But in a side hustle, when you're in full control, it allows people, and I've seen this year after year for decades now, where people have come in and you would maybe define them by their full-time job.
Yeah.
They are this, and they get into this, and their creativity explodes, their potential grows. They become these fabulous leaders and inspirational stories and motivators, and then it's just this chain effect of all the people that come in after them that become more than they ever thought they could be, and that's what makes it special.
Wow. Darrell, that was deep. That was definitely very deep.
It's people don't think about those, and why would they, right? Most people side hustle, they're solving one problem, and that usually it's money, right?
Yeah.
Or they need extra money to solve this other problem, which is time. They don't think about all these other things that come from it, which is, again, we talked about the community, the people that you surround yourself by. And usually it's a circle of people that are wanting to change, that are positive-minded, that have desire to be more, do more, help more people. And that makes your circle of friends and community a better circle. I think you become a better person.
I agree.
When you're in that. And it just unleashes this ability to be who you were meant to be. And if you're meant to be a leader, it gives you the opportunity and the stage to do that. If you're meant to help, tens to hundreds to thousands of people, it gives you the opportunity to do that. If it's just to help your personal family, it gives you the opportunity to do that. And so there's a lot of wonderful benefits to a side hustle.
Yeah, and it's checking off on and on. And Darrell, I think this is kind of like more an analysis for you. If you can maybe share, you've seen, I'm sure, a lot of success stories, and thank you for sharing us that one or the few ones that you've had. I'm sure there's a underlying common denominator. A lot of people start it, doesn't mean they're going to be successful at it, but some just thrive at it. Where can you identify some that just make it and make it big, and some that just start it and just fail miserably, and they start blaming the world and all this stuff? What is the quality that you see in these two that for the listener, that if they have it, like, go for it, attack it? Yeah.
Tian, I think it's two things.
Yeah.
One, I think you have to come into your side hustle with a strong why. Like, you need to really think about and focus on, why am I doing this? And if it's simply to pay the next bill, once it's paid, what's the motivation? Does it keep you going?
Yeah.
So I think that needs to be strong, and people need to think about it and make it personal. And really, is it the bill, or is it the thing that you have to do to pay the bill that takes you away from this other part of your life? And really connect with that, because it's that gets you through, which I think is the second part of it, which is perseverance. You know,
Why
I
and
think a side
persevere.
hustle, no one wants a second job. And, you know, it's not always a business that you're starting, but I think people who think about it that way, and if anybody who started their own business, you know, whether it's a restaurant or just some kind of storefront or whatever it may be, they sit down and they create a business plan and they think about it. And I don't think any successful business opens its doors, you know, literally or, you know, or anyway, without thinking there'll be struggles. And what's my long-term plan for this, and how am I going to get through the struggles and persevere and get through it? And I think even with the side hustle, people need to understand and just realize that, you know, it's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to be, you know, just everything's positive. And so when it's not, if I don't get the call for the ride, you know, if I don't have someone rent my space, whatever it may be, what do I do? What's next? And you just got to, you know, focus back on the reason why you started it, what's your ultimate goal, and then how are you going to persevere when it's not coming as fast as you want it to. And all the successful people that I've seen in my, 3 decades now in this industry, and is they just commit to it. And they work and they work and they work, and if they're not getting the results that they wanted, then they do more until they get the results, and you commit to it. And if it's worth it and your why is strong enough, then you do it. And all the successful people that I've seen, that's it. They don't blame anybody other than themselves when it's not working, you know, and they're quick to congratulate themselves when it is, because they should.
Yeah, pat yourself on the back sometimes. It's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there it is. Just to summarize that, the two pillars I would definitely say, and for the listeners out there, have a strong why. I mean, deep in your bones, man. Like, why you're waking up, why you're doing everything you're doing, and then, like Darrell said, perseverance. Just commit to it. And I'm curious on this one, Darrell, okay? And I've known you for a while. You come by very poised. There's an equanimity. There's like a calmness. Like, I am sure in your line of work, there's some challenges that's come up. There's some challenges that just throws a ton of bricks at you. Where sometimes I'm surprised, like how you have your head on still, like, you know? Can you maybe explain when challenges come to you, I mean, either lightly as a feather or a ton of bricks, how is your attitude towards it, and how do you solve them? Like, tell me more about that aspect, because you mentioned earlier about, you know, people not showing up, that there's, you know, difficulties, there's going to be uphill battle, which I want to make sure everyone who's going to be in a side hustle knows that it's not going to be easy sometimes. And remember your why and persevere. Like, of course, that's a great inspirational takeaway from that miniature segment. But as a Darrell Starkweather, Darrell, how are you facing them, and how do you overcome them? That's my next question. Yeah.
It's a little silly, but
okay. I want to know. I'm sure hundreds of people want to know too. Yeah.
Well, this is how I talk to myself. Is I don't deliver babies, and I'm not doing brain surgery. There's nobody's life at stake in the decisions I make, and so I take some comfort in knowing that even if I get it wrong, I get an opportunity to make it right. Yeah. And I think the second part of that is you make it right. And so because I know and I'm rooted in myself, in my belief, in my faith, and the company that I'm a part of, it has the same values, that we always do the right thing, that it allows me to go face whatever problem needs to be solved, or whatever creative idea needs to be, you know, followed through on. At the end of the day, I'm going to do the right thing. And so, you know, we've had struggles, we've had tribulations, we've gone through, you know, every company, every side hustle, every business has its ups, and you get to enjoy those, but they come with their downs, and you got to fight through it. And it's just a challenge. And it's not that you take it lightly, but you do, at least in my case, look at it as an opportunity of, okay, if this is the current challenge, one, how do you get through it, and how do you get something out of it?
Yeah.
And so it's a mindset. And it's also,
Mindset,
I've learned that it's never as bad as you think it is.
Oh, like creating the world in your head?
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yeah, you worry about this problem, like how are we going to deal with this? How am I going to solve this? And, and the stress starts building, then you realize, you know what? We went through something similar. And on the other side, we all lived. We all survived. We learned from it. We got better, and that's how I'm going to approach this. And so it's just, and I think the other part of it is deeply caring for those that I work with and for. And
That
I
means
think
you guys as well.
Yeah, it's it's. I think that's the other part of a side hustle that people don't is, you get to surround yourself with some pretty special people, and you get to choose who those people are. You're not forced to go in and sit beside someone that you don't particularly get along with or see eye to eye. You get to choose your circle, and you create your tribe, and you learn to really care and love those people, and so there's no problem too big to fight for that. It's the same as you would for your personal family. I mean, there's no obstacle that would come between you and your kids that you wouldn't just walk through fire to make it happen.
Or fight a bear.
Preferably a kangaroo, right? Inside joke on that one. But it's, but you just got to look at the problems that, you know what? There's people counting on you.
Yeah.
You care about them, and you can panic and overreact, or you can just face it head on and just keep going and know that on the other side, you're most likely going to be in a better place.
Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Darrell, it's amazing. So, y'all, I mean, if you didn't hear that already, just know that as a side hustle, you will experience a little bit of, like, storms, rainy days and stuff like that. So have that same attitude Darrell has. I think it's a great perspective to have when you guys have a side hustle. I think amazing, Darrell, amazing. And I'm going to bust out some data. You've been one of the side hustles before, and this is just data, so I don't want any,
I like data.
Okay, data is good. One of the side hustles you were in telecom, I mean, it went to thousands to millions to billion. I mean, that's some serious number.
Yeah.
And another, like, not telecom, in the energy industry, the side hustle, went from thousands to hundreds of thousands to millions, and then recognized to billions. You played a vital role in the success of this massive, giant companies that's there. And congratulations on your success and your dedication towards that. And it affects us, like those who are on the field, working their side hustle too. I know, it's put aside. So now there's something, we're part of something big, huge. And Darrell, what would you recommend to, if I'm going to start a side hustle, a little bit of check mark, what industry to get into? You saw some scalability that's just monstrous. With the world and technology, the way it's going, I know you're seeing something we don't. Like your mind's like always like 5-10 years ahead. For all those who want to start now, I don't want everything to fizzle in like a year or 2 years. No, it's going to be a long-term game plan. If they're considering it and having your expertise and all the data that I just mentioned, the industry you're in, where should they put their time and energy to?
Yeah, being in the energy industry, it's I think a couple things set it apart from other side gigs. Is one, everybody has it.
Yes.
Those who don't want it desperately bad.
Amen. Totally agree.
And it's a life necessity. It's on the list of things we have to have, and it has to be a part of our lives. A lot of side hustles are extras. And it's something that solves a once a year issue, whether it's travel, whether it's whatever the product or service is. And the other difference is a lot of them require money outside of your normal spending to get it. And in this industry, it's a cost that's a part of your daily life. And so you're not asking people to go outside of their normal expenses to participate in the energy industry.
Yeah,
it's a
like
bill.
an addition.
It's a
Yep.
part of it, and it's a necessity. And so that's key because it's not going away.
Nope.
It'll always be there. It's not a fad. You know, it's not a product that's going to be the next best thing, new and improved, is going to come out on the shelf. It'll always be there.
Yeah.
And the reality is the world's dependency on it is increasing.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of efforts, a lot of smart people in this world trying to figure out how to maximize it and take advantage of it. They've tried wind, they've tried solar, and they're all great, and they solve problems, but they don't, you know, it doesn't solve it all. And, you know, depending on where you live, people are, you know, moving into your area at a constant pace.
Yeah.
The people that need this product, this service, it never ends. And I think it's, as the industry grows and people develop, you know, in energy, the dependency on it, it just opens up an opportunity for more space to get into it. Because a lot of people think of energy, they think of their light bill, right? Turning on lights, turning off. But what they don't realize is like, everything depends on it. Everything.
Yeah.
And as the innovation in this, you know, space is trying to figure out how do we get more of it at a cheaper cost, how do we find ways to utilize it more, it opens up much more space for us to get into, more markets, more opportunities, and so it's not one that's going to go away. And I think that's the key, TM.
I can see that.
A lot of opportunities that are out there are kind of they come and go.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah, man, we won't mention any names, but it's, you know, it's, or you can do it when you can afford to do it. You know, there's a lot of things that limit, you know, they're conveniences, but they're not necessities.
True.
And so I think it's the place to be. I certainly have been a part of two very important ones.
Yes.
But I'll tell you the difference between this one and my prior one. The first one was telecom.
Yep.
And if you remember, you'll know how old you are if you can remember this.
Listen up.
But in the 90s, you know, your telephone, you were paying around 20 to 25 cents a minute.
Oh yeah.
For long distance.
Make the conversation quick.
And, you know, and then you had kind of a base charge for local service. And as competition grew in the space and it deregulated, it went down to, you know, 15 cents, 12 cents, to eventually you got into these friends and families and you were getting your long distance for free. And it basically ended that industry because there was no, you know, side hustle revenue to be made when people's telephone bills, you know, long distance were free.
Yeah.
And the utilities took all, you know, the local. The difference between that is it was nationally regulated. With energy, it's a commodity. And the world negotiates its value, and we, the public, negotiate it. And it's always there. Yeah. It's always needed. It's always growing as the population grows, as communities grow. And it won't go away. It won't disappear.
Appetite for it, like for
the
energy,
appetite
is huge.
for it, and really the economy created from it, and the income that you can make from it.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that, you know, we're never going to see a $0 energy bill.
Oh yeah.
Unless your company offers some kind of plan to
like free energy,
or like free energy, to reward you for it. But I think it's the perfect space for people looking to get involved with a side hustle because it's there forever.
Yes, this next segment to me is going to be so exciting, amazing, and it's an eye opener for all those who, if you don't believe it, okay? There's a side hustle out there that besides, you know, picking up a silver getting paid or Uber driving getting paid, there's a side hustle that has reoccurring income. And in my opinion, trumps every side hustle. Meaning if you start the side hustle, work it, there's a sliver of the quote unquote is reoccurring income on it. When people pay their energy bill or something, there's a piece of that goes to the person that's operating, building, marketing that thing. for those who are interested in a side hustle, I just want, if you can chime in, add a little bit of value, how important it is that if you start one, have one that has recurring income.
I think it's key.
Yeah.
I mean, why get involved in something that doesn't pay dividends down the road? Again, I'll pick on those that they're involved in side hustles that rent out homes, bedrooms, property that they may have.
It's capital intensive, though.
It is, and maybe there's great money to be made, but you have to constantly push to get someone back there.
Oh, I meant like just to start it.
There's that.
Oh yeah.
There's that, but it's also you're constantly. It's effort reward. So you're constantly have to put in effort to get something out of it, which is great, as you should, because no true opportunity or side hustle comes without effort. I mean, it's key. You can't expect to join some kind of opportunity or side hustle and do nothing and
like
get
on
paid.
the couch.
Yeah, you can't. But why wouldn't you look for one that allows you to get some recurring income based on a single effort? Yeah. And so you need to tie yourself to something that has some kind of form of recurring income. Yeah. And when you look at the energy space, again, we go back to the necessity of it. Someone's going to pay that bill every single month.
And I dare you not to pay it 1 month, see what happens.
That's right. It gets serious real quick.
Yeah.
But it's just a necessity, and it's habitual, right? People are going to do it. And so there's a security in that. Yeah. And so why shouldn't you be rewarded every time someone does?
Yeah.
And so you look for that side hustle that provides that, because you can focus on building on top of it instead of trying to refill the same room or every month or every week. Why not build a room and know that it's going to have someone in it every month for as long as they pay their bill, right?
Yeah.
And then you can go find another person to come in and be energy space and add on and add on and add on. Because at the end of the day, I don't know that anybody who truly wants a second job. I don't know that anybody wants to spend more hours. With that, they want to build time back into their life. And the only way I know that you can truly put time back in your life and still have, the opportunity, the income that you're maybe looking to replace to give you that space and that time is recurring income.
Yeah,
you've got to have it. You've got to have it. And so why not put your effort into building for that so that you can enjoy it and give back, which is ultimately, I think, what everybody wants is time.
Time, most valuable commodity.
Yeah.
Now, there's one thing, let me chime on that for a bit. Recurring income, I would say very few or just a very small fraction of Americans truly have recurring income.
Yeah.
And with this side hustle, there is a side hustle out there that has it. And I suggest find it, live it, commit to it, and it'll be very rewarding, in my humble opinion. Now, there's another side thing, and then, man, for those who are going to jump in for the next 5 or 10 more minutes, I won't take more long on this one. This is so important for me to chime on this one. This free energy. I'm trying to convince people that it does exist, and they think it's like a unicorn. Yeah. Like, no, it's not a unicorn. We have bills to prove it. I think all those who are free energy should brag the living hell out of it. And if you have to bleep that one out, bleep that one out. But they should brag about it like to kingdom come. Yeah. And I want to share you a story, Darrell. It's just a super awesome story. I was in Ohio working in the business, and there's this guy named David Wilkins, and I talked to him about free energy. And, it sounds like a myth, but I would say talk to hundreds of people up there. One actually gave it a chance. And last month, and I want to maybe, I'll just talk about what leader, if I can post it on social media. But 2 weeks ago, he had his first free energy check.
That's awesome.
It came in, and two things went in my head that a lot of people won't see. It's not going to stop coming in.
Right.
It's a free energy check. Second, it's not an income, it's a credit. So it's not like he's going to get a 1099 for it, right? And that's like the two things. And then the last thing is like, I want everyone, not just in that state of Ohio, but in the state of Texas, to have that, to savor, to enjoy that free energy check. And some states have gas and electricity. You might have double checks,
Right.
2 checks out there. I hate kind of like trying to convince somebody that there is free energy. But I think this platform will be a great platform to really like expose the unicorn.
Yeah.
Let them truly see it. It exists out there. And for all those who do have it, I'm asking you, like, person to person, or recommend. I want you to brag about it, market about it. Let the world know that there is free energy out there. Darrell, you're on the corporate side. Talk to us more about how amazing this is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how deep you want to go into.
I want
the
to go
structure.
all the way.
Yeah.
This
So
is just
listen,
amazing.
this is, this goes back to 2008, and it was originally designed as a customer benefit, a perk. That it wasn't even designed for those that were working the opportunity as a side hustle. It was just a customer benefit. And it's a very simple design that's extremely effective, which is, listen, if you're a customer and you refer 15 or
15,
more.
1.5, yeah.
Right. So if you're in an electricity service and you refer 15 electric customers, what we do is we take the average of their supply, which is the amount they pay for energy service, less the utility fee, which is a pass-through that everybody has, and we apply that average amount as a credit to your phone bill, either through a credit on the bill or as a check every month.
Not phone bill, yeah, you meant.
Yeah, I'm sorry, electric bill.
Electric
Still,
bill, yeah.
two industries still go together. So the electric bill. So it's the average, and so you can control that. The higher or the customer's bills, whether that's because you're working with large homes or apartments, whatever it is, we take those 15 or more, we average those out, and if it's $100, then you get $100 back to you every single month.
Okay, again, he said something is almost like a fine print, but I'm gonna make it big print. He said every single month. Like, no, every single month, as long as they're a customer, as long as they maintain their 15, but throw in like 18, 20. So it's not going to stop coming. Now, talk more about the benefit again.
So the benefit is, listen, we don't, in our specific industry, we don't use spokespeople. We don't use commercials. We don't put out billboards. We invest in the individual. And one, I think it brings a better quality customer because, again, we're about the individual and changing people's lives, and let them go out and bring customers that are close and dear to them. And so what the Free Energy program does is allow you, to benefit from that, be rewarded for bringing customers to the company, but it also allows you to say, this is a true opportunity. That not only are you paying for a service that you have to anyway, but you can possibly get it for free. Just by referring other people. And so again, unlike other side hustles that you have to come out of your bank account to enjoy, whether it's a product or a service or something, this allows you to participate in it and actually put money back into it just for being a customer.
Look at that. Oh my goodness. Besides like making money, you can save money. Like, it's to me mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. I truly believe the whole world should know about it, this program. And not only that, just realize that truly anyone can do it. If anyone, like you pull out the phone, there's more than 15 contacts on there. And everyone says, no, I have only 14. I'll call BS on it right away. Like, hey, show me your phone. Show me just only 14 contacts. No, and everyone there uses electricity. So it's just something that just put in a little bit of effort, and then it's like a lifetime
And
reward.
there's no deadlines. There's no hidden requirements. Whether you can achieve that in 2 weeks, 2 years, 2 decades, that's your decision. You get 15, you get the credit.
Look at that.
And you're right, it lasts forever. We've had people that have received their free energy credits or checks for over a decade, faithfully every single month for just having the 15 or more customers.
So think about and there's still more to come because I know a lot of people have it already, and to me, I kind of want to shake them. It's like, yo, why you keep it just for yourself? It's like, let your mom and dad, brother, sister, cousin, your dog, if he's paying the bill, let them know about it too. So I think it's something everyone should be benefiting from. And we'll wind this up, Darrell. I wanted to ask you know, looking forward into this energy industry, or allow me to say this, with Ambit Energy, what do you see, what do you have in mind? What do you see where this is going? How big it's going to get? Are they too late? Are they just too early? Just give them an idea, a perception, or an idea of where is the future going with this side hustle?
Yeah, I mean, the first answer is you're not too late, and I don't think you're ever too late. You know, it's we've been around for many years, but the opportunity is as big today as it's ever been.
Yes.
And that's because the landscape changes. You know, we are not the same company that we were 10 years ago.
No, and you were around. You were
I was
around 10 years ago. Yeah,
and that's because people change. People's needs change. The industry, especially in energy, changes. And it's a constant adapting to what's next. And we know that the world is growing. We know that the dependency on energy is growing. We know that there's a lot of smart people putting time and effort into the innovation of energy. And so even though we don't know what it'll look like in 5 to 10 years, what we do know is we'll be there. And we will continue to adapt and grow. And people are constantly looking for an opportunity. You know, it's the times of when I got out of school that you go in and you commit to a 30-year career somewhere doesn't exist anymore.
No, I don't think I know anybody.
You know, I don't think the career exists. I don't think the people exist. People like change. People want to be fluid. People want to live a different lifestyle than people 30 years ago did. And I think that's what's made the rise of the side hustle. And it's important, is people want to work when they want to work, and they want to make money when they need money. And, you know, what's so great about our industry and our opportunity in side hustle is it accommodates whoever you are at whatever point in your life. If you're looking for...
whatever chapter you're in, right?
Wherever you're
whatever
at.
Your life, yep.
Yeah, if you are looking to build something substantial and long term, it's there.
Yeah.
If you are looking to solve next month's problem, it's there.
Yeah.
If you're looking, you know, for a financial destination, the opportunity is there in the path. If you're just looking to improve yourself as a person and improve your circle of friends and network, it's there. And so it's just, it's there, it's growing. We are committed to being a part of it. We are already looking down the road years in advance. Rarely am I working on problems for today or tomorrow.
Or next week.
Most of what I'm focused on is minimum 6 months out or years in advance. You know, and we have a lot of great people that are here to support today's and relish in the successes and the achievements that's happening right now, and that's really important. But we also need folks that are thinking about tomorrow and what's next. And, you know, that's what excites me about it, is seeing all the different people becoming a part of this. And, you know, I think we're seeing younger and younger folks become a part of this.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it speaks to the side hustle, Tien. I think that's who is interested in it. You know, they want flexibility in their life. They want opportunity, but they want it on their terms, on their time, and we can provide it.
Yes. Last week, I met a dude. He was 20 years old.
20 years
He
old.
got promoted in there. I'm like, what? He's 20. I wish I knew this one was 20, right?
Yeah. I mean, we have a group in Ohio.
Yeah.
That it's a lot of young individuals in their 20s.
Yeah.
And they're excited and passionate because it's solving their immediate needs, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think they'll see the recurring income part of it.
Yes,
Which, you know, really is exciting, but it solves their today's needs. And, you know, that's what's so great about this opportunity, is whatever you need out of it, it can provide it.
Yes, I was about to say it's for all ages, but it's not. You have to be 18 and older.
Yeah, legal in the state you reside, whatever that is. Usually 18.
And Darrell, just putting all side hustle aside for a second, I'm going to end it with this. If there's a message, Darrell, Darrell Starkweather, if there's a message, sorry, I'm going to beat the table here. If there's a message you can give to the listeners out there, it could be a life message, it could be anything that just a principle, something that just you take dearly inside you, what will you leave them with?
You know, the quote I live by, and I've had it for years, and I didn't even know who. I've recently found out who said it, but it was basically the gist is do your duty and a little bit more, and the rest will take care of itself. And so every day,
say that one more time.
Do your duty.
Do your duty.
And a little bit more, and the rest will take care of itself. Wow. And I apply that to just about everything. Is if you're in a side hustle and you're looking for an opportunity or you're trying to change your circumstances, whatever they may be, first do your duty. You got to look at yourself first. Am I doing everything I can do? And if I think I am, can I do a little bit more? Do a little bit more, and then everything else will take care of itself.
That could be applied to a lot of dimensions in life besides just the side hustle part.
And I think if you want to apply it to the side hustle, listen, if you're whatever your vision of success is, whatever goal you set for this, it starts with you.
Yeah.
And really it ends with you. And so work on you first, do your part in it, do a little bit more than your part, and the rest will take care of itself. You know, it's a little cheesy and cliche, but when you're on an airplane and they tell you if the oxygen mask comes down, what do you do first? You put yours on first and then help the person next to you. You got to take care of you first. You got to look at you. You're the answer to all your problems. And if you take care of yourself, then it gives you the opportunity to help others.
Yeah, that could be applied as a father too. It could be applied as everything. Hey, that's a great universal principle.
Yeah. I mean, it's, it can be applied, you can go back to the old Stephen Covey in the circle of influence, right? And you work within your sphere of influence. When you got a problem, a lot of people look on the outside first of what's causing it, and rarely do they look at themselves first. Like, what can I do different? What can I do to change this? Look at yourself, fix that part, apply that, and the rest will take care of itself.
And upon ending, I would love to hear it one more time, Darrell. That quote, go.
Do your duty and a little bit more, and the rest will take care of itself.
Let that sink in. Thank you so much, Darrell, for your time. And ladies and gentlemen, Darrell Starkweather, I appreciate it so much for your time here at the podcast.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right. Thank you, Darrell. Oh, my goodness. That was inspiring.